Well, now that we've got Kary back and it's getting on towards 9:30.
It's 9:30, so let's start the meeting. It's now got 9:31 here. How many people do we have?
About 15.
15?
It says 15.
Okay, then we have a quorum. So we can conduct business. Do we have any visitors or new people for introductions?
I don't see anyone.
No.
Okay,
I've been talking to a guy named Joe who also talks to John a lot, and he's coming, but he was busy today.
All right.
okay.
Um,
Well,
Brian-
go ahead.
Brian Hallquist was going to come in. He doesn't have audio or video, but for us to see him, but he said that he could see us. So he might be, I don't see his name yet, but he was planning on coming with just,
All right.
you know,
Okay, good. Well, the first thing I want to do is wish everybody a happy New Year. Hope you people were civil and nice and so forth, and hope you weren't like me and went to bed at 10 o'clock. But the New Year still came in, so we had a nice time. It was nice yesterday, but anyhow, I hope everything was good from you as well. To that point, let's do the secretary's report. Warren, I know you sent that out. Can you give us, tell us about that, and then we'll do a vote on it.
Warren is muted.
you have to,
So, okay, I sent the report out, and Katie graciously put it into the newsletter, and that's all I have to say.
Do we have a motion to approve that secretary's report by Warren?
I move.
Second,
Aye.
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Unanimous, thank you. Treasurer's report, Warren, I know you sent that to the board. I looked at that. Go ahead, tell us about it.
Well, we had one expense that I wrote out a check to renew our club insurance through auto owners, and that was $353. So that leaves us with $1,350.38 in the kitty, with $35 in petty cash. I'm holding myself off from spending. Other than that, we're all done. I mean, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, and you know, that's good. I looked at that, and you know, it's not that we're poor by any means, but we're not rich by any means either, because we're not taking any in annual dues last year. We're down to $1,300. Of course, we paid our insurance, and seeing that we don't have any rent that we're paying on, you know, that still gives us a nice cushion. But hopefully, sometimes next year we can start to, you know, start collecting dues again and meeting. I know I got my sleeve all rolled up here, ready to go, but it's going to be a while with that and the second shot you're going to need and so forth. But we're not going to worry about that yet. We've got some time before we have to decide our next steps as to how we're going to meet, where we're going to meet, and so forth. Thanks for that report. The next report that I want to talk about is the one that I'm chair of, is the TLC Toys, and this is January 1st. So as you know, I've been keeping track of information and data points, and I sent out the email from Jim Barthel giving us a summary of all of his toys that they made and delivered, and also identified the recipients, the organizations that have all that, and hopefully that was helpful to. I did get, you know, one feedback on it that they appreciated getting that, to know that where are the toys that you are making as well, where they're going. And I know I appreciated it to see all these different organizations. I knew of some of them that were being recipients, but not all of them. Jim is, you know, they're really busy up there working, and I did kind of talk a little bit or mention it in a way about, you know, expansion. I know as democratic as we are, and entrepreneurs and capitalists and so forth, we always want to get bigger and bigger. I know I've given you know, a lot of suggestions and so forth as to how the TLC can grow that business, who else can become recipients, and Jim kind of pulls on the reins and says, you know, we only got so many people, and when I took this on, I was looking at maybe giving 2 days a week, because he just also retired, but he was on 2 boards with banks and so forth. And he says, Gary, this is turning into a full-time job, 6 days a week. You know, I'm the purchaser, I'm the inventory, I'm the accountant, and I'm this and do that. And you know, they've got about 6 people that go up there to Big Lake from their house in Ramsey and so forth. See, I used to go over to Andover and help, and I just decided not to go up to Big Lake, but they meet 2 days a week up there in the mornings, Monday through Wednesday. And that's quite a task to keep Jim even, you know, organized, trying to get everybody as to planning what you're going to do and get the wood and so forth. So the bottom line, what I'm saying is that they did a tremendous job of putting out 20,000, you know, I think it was, see, what was 21,400 toys they gave out. And when I was working with Mel Hartman and Phil Lagarde and so forth, we maxed out about 34,000. And, you know, and that was, you know, Mel worked at it basically 6 days a week. So what I told Jim is that, okay, Jim, you tell me for next year, you know, how many toys you'd like to make and so forth. And I don't think he wants to increase above where he's at. If anything, maybe pull back a little bit. And so I said, you let me know how we can help and how many we can make and what you want us to make. And so we're going to be talking a little bit more about that. I was there on New Year's Eve. I went there on Thursday, and I delivered, dropped off a load of toys that were made, and I'll tell you about that. And I picked up some more wood that he had. So anybody looking for wood, you know, let me know. But to that point, I put together a year-end report as well, and I want to share that with you. The number of race cars that we made, of the people that do cut cars out of our group, we cut 2,185 cars, and I went with an extremely conservative goal for last year of 900, even though we made like 1,500 the previous year. I didn't know what was going on, but we just blew it out of the water as well. 2,185 cars. And whether you cut 1 car, 10 cars, or a lot, it's all appreciated. And I know everybody's busy in time, but I do want to recognize 2 people that really went really out and really was dedicated and put a lot of time in on this. Fred Flanagan, that doesn't get on here. I wish he would get on Zoom here, but apparently he's not. He cut 827 cars last year out of that 2185. And good old Roger here, he cut 593 cars. So they get attaboys for that. I mean, that's just tremendous. And in birds, for the most part, we're no longer making birds. unless you want some more coming up here. But right now, we're just doing cars from the big support. The birds, we did 1,116. That's 1,116. And again, our two scrollers, the big scrollers, Roger and Fred. Roger, he outdid the Fred on this one. 370 birds Roger cut, and Fred did 356. Assisted living projects, where we're getting into more of the assisted living projects, and just briefly talking with Jim, we're going to be going more down that road to the assisted living, memory care, and also the police and sheriff departments, because with them, they're adults, and you can make bigger types of toys, and they're probably not as, from a safety standpoint, not as critical. You don't have to survive the drop test and all of that you do with the little kids. And so we'll be going down more of that road. The assisted living projects that we did, we're talking the trees, the rabbits, turtles, teddy bears, hearts, and tulips, and only a few people that made those, and that was Roger and Fred and myself. And we only did that about the last 3 months of the year, and we did 669 of those variations. So again, Christmas ornaments. I know many of people that got plywood. You're busy doing making Christmas ornaments, and you most of you asked for patterns, and I sent you some patterns that I modified, and then I directed you to go to Steve Good and go to the category Christmas Nativity, and you can pick patterns out of there. And just last week, Jim, he went to Steve Good's site, and for suggestions, he said, I think some of these would be nice. I think he had 6 of them. I sent that to the people that got plywood. That candle tree, I modified that, reduced it in size so that you could cut it directly. So I'm thinking these Christmas ornaments, anything I'm looking at 4.5 to 6 inches tall is kind of a nice thing to put on a tree. And also keep in mind, like I said before, our plywood is 19.5 inches wide. So if you make them about a little less than 6 inches or around 6 inches, you can get 3 up on that. And then if you stack them 3, you can end up getting like 9. I did the snowman and got 9 within an hour on that. But again, you people decide what you want to do for cutting ornaments. And some of the ones that Jim referred to from Steve Good's site, some of those are kind of involved, complex. I mean, they're going to take a little more time to cut. There's a lot of fret cuts there. And some of them have Merry Christmas on them and dates, but of course, don't put any date on them. But in regards to Merry Christmas and type of thing, I say, hey, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Leave the Merry Christmas off, and even some of the fret cuts. If you don't want to do some of those, I wouldn't worry about that either. It's up to you. And if you got any questions, or if you need me to resize or work with you, let me know. I will take and work with the pattern and then put it in save it as a PDF and send it to you. But as far as ornaments go, we got 35, and that's what I made. And I made 35 ornaments so far, and then gave them to Jim on New Year's Eve. But again, we don't need those ornaments till like next first part of November, end of October. And then if we ever get together for exchanging anything, wood or whatever, you got them, give them to me. I'll take and pass them on to Jim when we go up there, and then he'll store them. And so just I know people said, well, how do I get to you? When do you need them, and so forth. In regards to that, so the final of that, we did 4,005 toys that we made in 2020, and I went and divided that by the roughly the toys that he handed out this year, which is 21,400 toys, and that represents that we made 18.7% of his production. you know, it's kind of a gross thing and so forth. But I say thank you. I say that's a good, you know, you guys been fantastic, and slap yourself on the back. Then the next item is the Baltic birch plywood sheets. What I got from Jim and I gave to everybody that wanted them was 211 sheets. So that's a lot. I've had somebody just recently, I don't know, I guess he didn't read the newsletter and so forth, and wanted to know if I had some sheets, and he would like 25. And I don't have any in my garage right now, except for what I have and been using. But I expect I'm going to be getting some more from Jim. I talked to him a little bit on New Year's Eve about it. So just as a heads up, if you are looking for more plywood, let me know what you want. You know, you can be ambitious on it. And if I know ahead of time, I can kind of work with him and so forth. And if we don't get it, if I don't get it, you won't get it, or I'll reduce down the amount that I can give you. But again, if you want it, just let me know, and maybe in a month or two, we'll be able to get together and do it again. But again, if you get, if you get a lot of sheets, what we might do is start kind of almost a production with it, is that we'll get some of that plywood and give it to you, not as a freebie for you to use, but to use it in making TLC toys with it. I'm looking at maybe designing a few more that says specifically to use that and to give to the, you know, and it may not be ornaments, and it could be. But anyhow, I don't know, you got any questions on those sheets at all? Well, to that extent, that covers my report on TLC toys. Jim told me Phil Lagarde, it's too bad we couldn't get him hooked up on a computer and so forth. But I guess Phil has been doing a bang-up job over there in Stillwater area with the prisons and the police and so forth. I think he's done over or made over 1,000 toys or something that he's been giving out, according to him.
Gary?
Yeah.
Gary?
Yes.
Fred is joining us. I don't think he has audio or video, but he'll be able to hear you if you want to repeat what you said.
Fred is on right now?
I think it says he's connecting to audio.
Well, let me know when he gets hooked up there. And
well, Brian is on also. I don't think he has audio or video. And so Fred probably can hear us.
Well, okay, Fred, I just gave a report on TLC toys real quickly. We made 4,005 toys that we gave to TLC toys. Cars, we made 2,185 cars, and you just did a bang-up job of making 827 cars. Fantastic. And,
hey, Fred.
Yeah, and Roger did as well, 593.
That's all, yeah.
Yeah, and the birds, Roger made 370 and Fred made 356 out of the 1,116. And assisted living projects, turtle rabbits, Roger, Fred, you did some of that. Fred, he kind of backed out on me though. On the tulips, you know, there's a 4-part for the tulips. There's the base, the bottom flower, the dowel, and the top flower. And Fred cut the 2 flowers, and he says, Gary, you finish them. You drill the holes and put the pegs in and so forth, and glue them up. And but that's fine. I'm willing to do that. But the only thing is, Fred, you cut the flowers before you drill the holes, and it's a whole lot easier to drill the holes before we actually cut the flowers. But right now, we're not going to be making any more of those until I hear back from Jim. But basically, Fred, TLC donated 21,400 toys to the various people, and we made 4,000, so we end up making 18.7% of the delivery. And Fred, you didn't take very many sheets of plywood now. You can use that plywood for yourself. You don't have to use it for making toys. This is a giveaway stuff. But Fred, he's unlike Roger. Fred, I went and picked this up on Monday before the snowstorm, or Tuesday before the snowstorm. And Fred, he says, yeah, bring me some more wood. And Roger, he kind of went on a hiatus a little bit here. But Roger, now that it's the end of the year, it's a new year, so I'm sure you'll be calling me for some more wood that I just picked up as well.
I got lots of plywood here.
No, this is cedar. This is cedar I'm talking about. I got another load of cedar here for people for making cars. But yeah, but feel free to let me know if you want some cedar wood to make cars right now, because I'll work with you to get them to, for Fred, I go down and make deliveries and pickups for Fred, and I can swing around and work out with somebody else as well, or we'll meet halfway or whatever. I'm willing to do that. Okay, that covers the TLC Toys reports. Let's talk about old business. Kary, you give us an update on the plaques. I know they're finished now, and
Right. Well, I don't have anything much more than what we put in the newsletter, but Carol and Tammy were there when we brought the plaque to them, and I printed off and sent off the card that everyone signed, so to speak, sent their comments, and they were very grateful for that. She wrote a thank you to everyone. I recently emailed everyone with her thank you. I hope everyone got it. But they were very grateful. She had to take about 5 minutes before we could talk with her. She was kind of broken up.
now who went over there with you? Was it Warren and John went over there with you, or?
Warren and John both did, yeah.
Okay.
And John, we all enjoyed seeing Swede's garage again, old garage, because that's where Tammy lives, is in Swede's old house. And so that was kind of fun. For those of you who don't know, Swede used to hold these meetings in his garage. And Carol used to do all she would provide coffee and cookies and stuff like that. And Roger finished the plaque for Elmer, and I gave that to Tammy, Swede's daughter, because they're very close friends with the children of Elmer, and she said she would make sure that they get that plaque. I haven't heard back from them yet, but I'll check and make sure Tammy delivered it.
Well, again, congratulations to Warren and to Roger for cutting those plaques, and
Right.
hopefully we do not need to make any more soon.
That's what I hope too. If anybody wants to make them, just so that we have them handy and ready to put the name on, that's okay.
The next piece of old business is Bill Dean here. I want to get an update on the Pega scroll saw blades. If he got them and sent any out, or
I'll send him a text or try and give him a call, but I sent him every time I send out an email, his email bounces back to me. And so then I type in his email address all by itself, and I think he gets it then. But, I think they're out of town. I think I got an email from them saying that they were out of town right now.
okay, well, you can try it, whatever. But if he's got a cell phone, if he's sitting there, he might. He could log in. But has anybody that's on this Zoom meeting requested or ordered blades from Bill? And if so, have you received any yet or not?
Nope, not.
No.
No.
He said we
did
might
request
get
them.
together. He said we might get together at the creek side when he had them all in, but he should have them by now.
Yeah, he talked about getting together at Creekside or mailing them out.
Yeah.
I'm on the list for, I didn't get my order in time. I'm on the list because he said he had a lot of them that you had to order extra, you know, to get the dozen, the discount, you know, the gross discount. But I haven't heard anything about any leftovers yet. So that's what I was kind of wondering as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so that takes care of that. And then the next old business was liability insurance. And Warren already said that he paid that and we got that renewed. Do we have any other old business that anybody wants to bring up?
Are there some people possibly that aren't able to hook up to Zoom that we could get the newsletter out to them some way? I know like Phil, he doesn't have I don't think he's got a computer, and he's missing out on all the meetings and that. Are there other people possibly that don't have a computer?
Well, Katie, you send the newsletter to everyone, correct?
I send the newsletter to everyone. I just talked,
Electronically, yeah.
Yeah.
But you mail Phil's, right?
I mail Phil's, and
Okay,
yeah, he only can go to the library, and the library's not open, so he can't make it.
that's great.
I was talking to Bill Dean on the phone, so I didn't hear what the conversation was. But he's going to get on now. He forgot, and he's going to come right now as soon as he can.
All right.
Then we can get an update. Katie, is there anybody else that you mail the newsletter to besides Phil?
Not right now.
Okay.
Can anybody think of anyone?
I just think it's really important that we don't leave anybody out, you know.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me know when Bill is on.
All right.
You'll see him, I think.
And well, I see Fred. Yeah, and Brian.
Can you unmute Fred? Can he say something?
No, he doesn't have a way to do that, I don't
Oh,
think.
okay.
Well, he's on, and
He can see us and hear us. I
Can
believe.
hear us.
oh, that's
Hi,
good.
Fred.
Hi, Fred.
Hi,
He'll
Brian.
have to make signs and hold them up and then go to the
No.
next card and the next card.
No, we can't see them either.
He doesn't have a camera or microphone.
That's it.
Ah, sign language.
Okay, well, let's start with the new business there, and I want to the new business is Secretary Nick. He tendered his resignation as secretary and as a board member.
Nick is on.
Yeah, I see Nick is on there, and he said he was going to join here, and so he did send an email to me and the board. I just want to say, Nick, we really appreciate what you did as a secretary. You did a fantastic job, and we really appreciate it. And I can totally understand about your resignation that you got your hands full there with 4 children, and family comes first. And you know, we as most of us are grandpas, you know, we and retired, so we have a little bit more time to do some of these kind of things. But you're right in the heart of it, in the heat of things right now, and so you take care of that. But whatever you can do to help us and share your knowledge and suggestions, we appreciate that. And you know, and keep coming on the Zoom meetings as well. Thank you. To that point, Warren stepped in and did the minutes here the last couple of months. And starting today, we have a new interim replacement, Carol Dade, right? Is Carol there?
Yes,
She
Carol.
just muted herself.
Okay, sorry, I'm here, yes.
Okay, Carol, you're.
I mean,
I want to thank you as well for agreeing and volunteering to be the interim, and really appreciate that. Any questions or comments or anything you'd like to share with us?
She just turned off her microphone and her video.
Just a minute. I'll get her back on.
Come back,
Okay.
Carol.
I'm here. Can you hear
There's-
me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
And-
here.
And
Speak
now we
slower.
can,
I'm trying to write as fast as I can. No, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. I'm happy to give this the best shot I can.
Great, great. One of the things that the past secretaries have done, I know Warren and Nick and so forth, when they write up the minutes, they usually send it to before it gets sent out as a final. It gets they'll normally run it by the board and Katie, for any corrections, suggestions, or additions and so forth. So I don't know if you plan on doing that or not. I know it's helped in the past.
Yes, I will be doing that. Katie's going to be my right-hand girl, if she doesn't know that already.
Bill Dean is on now, Gary.
Okay, big. Okay, Bill, we're talking about old business, getting updates, and I had you on for the Pegasus scroll saw blades. Could you give us an update on that?
Yes, I can. I've received all of the blades except the modified geometry number 5. So for folks who didn't order modified number 5s, I will be sending your stuff out to you. And I'm still waiting for another update that they were supposed to have got those in the middle of the month. I emailed my contact and he still hasn't got them from Pegasus, Switzerland.
Wow, yeah, that's my favorite one, the MGT number 5.
Right. Yep. So that's the one that we're missing. But I got everything else. And they don't sell this. QTE does not sell the super hook at all, even though it's in their catalog. They don't carry that one at all. So we were unable to get that one.
Okay, and that's Danny's favorite blade.
Yep. Super hook. Yep. So
Okay.
that's kind of where we are.
So are you going to wait till you get the 5s in before you distribute them, or what's your plan along that line?
Well, I'm going to send out one more email to this guy because again, he told me they were coming in December and now we're into January. And based on that email, I'll go ahead and send stuff out. But there are a few people who didn't order that blade, so I will just send theirs to them.
Okay, so you plan on sending rather than meeting at Creekside type of thing, is that correct?
Well, I mean, I could do that too, but I figured, well, as an example, Danny's in Wisconsin. He's a far away, so.
Okay,
Yep.
fine. All right, very good. So, okay, so we have Carol's busy taking notes there. That's good. The next new business is the biggie, officer elections that we need to do on our meeting in March. And right now we need to talk about long-term secretary and my position, the president. We come April 1st, I will have put in 4 years as your president, and our bylaws say we should do 3 years, and if we don't find a qualified person, then the board can approve an additional year or so. And I have now, like I say, put 4 years in, and I think that you people should be looking at a replacement, stepping up, that get some new blood, new ideas, and go from there. So I really, really, really want you to think about volunteering for either position. We'll also be looking and voting, at all 4 positions, the vice president and treasurers as well. But I know the 2 that we definitely need to look at, the secretary and president. If you have any questions about any of these positions, send an email to the board or send an email to me about being a president, or if you feel free to, if you have an interest, let me know. That's all I can say is because we'll be talking about this again next month, but we need to nail this down because at our March meeting, then we're going to be voting because that person will be taking effect on at our April meeting. And that by voting in on March, then they have time to get prepared, think about it, and go from there. Questions, anybody? Comments on that?
Yeah, it's time to get a little new blood in here and replace some of the people that have been on for doing some of these jobs for a long time. So we kind of need to trade them around. And it's all right, you know, not every president is the same. We've all been a little bit different, but we've all been able to handle it, and that's all right. Everybody's personality goes into the job, and that's the way it is. You get a little different perspective.
Other comments?
I agree
Suggestions?
with what Mike said. Anybody can do it. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll be looking to, especially me, if you have any interest, you got my email, and send me an email or give me a call. I'm happy to talk to you about it. Any other new business to bring up?
I got a couple of things, Gary. I'm going to send an email to Jill Murphy next week and see if I can get an update about the Bloomington City situation there as far as Creekside. I haven't heard anything. Is there anybody from Bloomington that has any update about what the city council might have decided on this? Is anybody that lives in Bloomington? So I haven't heard anything, and I think they probably haven't decided yet, or we probably would have heard something. And then I had one other thing. I'm making some of those cutting boards, and I'm making one for Betty Tesh. You know, her husband donated a considerable amount of wood to all of us, and I decided the least I could do would be to make her a cutting board. So as soon as I get that done, if I ever get down to Rochester, I'm going to drop it with Mike Snyder or give it to her on that same trip. So I have some of Mike's wood.
Good for you. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, I thought that'd be nice. You know, with some of her husband's walnut and some maple that he had.
Oh, beautiful.
So I incorporated it into one board.
Yeah, Mike, I think that was her brother. That's Betty's brother.
Yeah.
Right?
Wayne?
Wayne was Betty's
Yeah.
brother, I believe.
Oh, I thought it was her husband. Okay, I'm mistaken.
So maybe you have to make two of them, one for Betty and one for, I forgot her name.
Well, who's married to Wayne?
I forgot her name. I can look it up. It's
Oh.
it's on the roster.
Why-
If you,
His wife's name is Denise.
Denise, that's right.
Oh, okay.
Betty is his sister-in-law.
All right. I didn't know that. All right, I'll write that down.
I only know because I wrote it down a couple months ago.
All right.
But send them both to Betty though, because she said that she would like to bring it to Denise because Denise gets upset every time she's reminded.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll talk to Mike Snyder before I do anything. Mike, you know where they live, right?
I know where Denise lives.
Okay.
Most of the rest of the people are not in town here.
Oh,
Okay.
So we'll have to track something down, get hold of me.
Okay, it'll be a little bit yet.
Any other new business? Well, to that point, then, Mike, you're up for the speaker presentation.
Okay, well, today we've got a presentation on Intarsia and how to glue things up. Now, Kathy Wise, who is an accomplished Intarsia artist, was going to talk about how she uses CA glues as she assembles some of her projects. And the CA glue, well, we all know it as super glue. It's cyanoacrylate is its long chemical name. And I didn't know this, but it comes in different viscosities. I looked it up, and Rockler has thin, medium, and thick, and there's probably others, but you can get them in almost any size and use their squeeze bottle. And from what I saw her do, she would squeeze it out on her, as Katie referred to it, edge joints, and glue them together, where some people, Katie explained, they glue to the backer board rather than to each other individually. So I'm assuming she glues this to the backer board in the end, or, right, Katie?
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
Okay, so with that, let's see if I can get this to work.
Now, if everybody is in, wants to see this best, make sure that you're not in gallery view where you have lots of people on the screen. Make sure that the little view button up top is on speaker view, and you'll just get one screen. And if Katie does a spotlight, and we'll make sure that it stays on mic, even if some of the rest of us make noises.
All right.
Hey, Mike, can you take the internet address that you're using and put it in chat so that we can watch it on another browser window? Because the resolution's much better if we can watch it individually.
I'll work on that, Mike. You focus.
'Cause it gets,
Yeah, Mike, you focus on getting the video going. I'll work on getting the link into the chat room.
All right.
Or put it in the newsletter.
Yeah,
It will be
maybe.
in the newsletter, and it'll be on the web too.
All right, here we go. Try to share screen. All right.
We started it in the middle because it was hard to understand her first introduction.
Yep. Are we ready? Here we go. Not playing.
Did you? Yeah.
Oh, here. Come on.
Just hit the.
I pause share.
Well, go down to the middle. There's a place to start it.
It's blocking what I want to do here. Okay.
So big ones.
Well, I see her on my screen, but she's not moving.
We can see you. We can also see the start button. Oh,
All
try
right,
again.
share again. I'm blocked here. I can't.
looks like your mouse, there, you got your mouse moving.
Is there something in front of the lower part of the screen?
There.
There you
There you go.
I
Go.
put my it says dock to top, so I put it up on top. Okay, here we go. Ready?
I have workshops in my studio where I demonstrate and teach the techniques and shortcuts of the art of Intarsia. Several of these techniques involve the use of hot stuff CA glue. This is a wonderful product to use in creating your Intarsia. It will save time and help make your Intarsia pieces easier, faster, and better than you ever thought possible. The two products I use the most are the Hot Stuff Extra Gap Filling Glue in the green bottle and the Quick Accelerator in the aerosol spray can. Here is a red-tailed hawk bird piece that will be in my next book. I'm going to show you now how I use CA glue to make color breaks. A color break is where two or more different colors of wood meet and are glued together as one piece. They will be sanded as one unit and be permanently glued. You want to make sure your pieces are fitting together very good and there's no large gaps. You might have to do that by recutting or sanding the edges slightly to get them to fit nice and tight. I will use the oscillating sander in order to fix any small gaps. Now in this piece, I have a section here that's a little close, and I can see a gap here, and then on the edge I can see it's really close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand that close edge just a little with the oscillating sander. Just Also make sure that all your cut is perfectly straight up and down. And I'm going to fit it back in and take a look. And I can see there I need to take off a little bit on the outside right there. And then fit it again. It's a lot of patience going back and forth to fitting. Always mark the bottom so you don't flip a piece over and sand accidentally. Okay, that looks pretty good. I know I'll have to fix a little bit right here as I go to, after I glue it, but that's something you do right after. Right, so like that. Once you're sure you have a good tight fit, you want to spray accelerator on one side and then apply the CA glue to the other side, and you're going to be fairly generous because you want this to be a permanent fit. You're going to hold it very carefully on the wax paper and hold it in place, and it won't take very long, and it'll be sealed right up. And then you want to do a little more accelerator. Try to spray the accelerator away from the CA glue, and then on your other piece, apply generously again. And you want to have it flat and push it in place. Now when I do multiple pieces, I like to have the next piece lined up to this piece, and then that way you're sure that you're going to have a good fit. And once you get the second piece done, you can actually recut and resand this line in between to make sure that those two fit. So now that we have the one piece fit, I'm going to take it over to the sander and I'm going to have a level sand on the face of it. This is my big drum sander. I'm going to sand the face of the tail feather. Get a nice flat finish. Now that's all sanded as one piece, and you can see it's nice and flat and there's a nice color break. Now, as you can see, I have the two pieces that fit together really close, and I can check it by putting it on my pattern and then putting all the pieces back in place. You move from feather to feather until you get all the sections glued together, and then each section fitted to the section next to it, and then you will shape the more of the contour after you get your color breaks completed. But you can see how fast and easy that is to use the CA glue to make your three different colors appear as one piece and sand them as one piece. That is what I call a color break. Hot stuff CA glue can be used to glue risers to a piece of your project. Risers or shims are used to make a piece higher than the surrounding pieces without using thicker wood. On this hawk project, I want the shoulder wing section to be higher. This will give the piece more depth and make it more three-dimensional. Spray the back of your piece with accelerator and then place dots of wood glue on your riser. Then place dots of CA glue in between the wood glue. Press the two pieces together. The hot stuff acts as a clamp and allows the wood glue time overnight to fully cure. Together they give you a quick permanent bond that lets you move quickly to your next step in finishing your Intarsia project. Hot stuff CA glue can be used instead of a sanding shim. Take a piece of wax paper and on a flat surface spray one side of your two pieces and then put two small dots at the bottom of your other piece. Put in place and press together. Now there will be one unit which you can shape, take off this high area, shape, and then put back in place. I'm going to go over and shape it. Now when I put it back in place, the two pieces are at the right level. I will take them and apply pressure, and they'll break apart easily, and then I can mark the spot I want to sand. Take that over to the sander. Now I have them sanded at the correct level. I can put them back in place, and I didn't have to use all the extra time to make a sanding shim. If your pieces do not break apart easily, you can use some of the super solvent to loosen the joint, or as a last resort, cut them apart again using your scroll saw. Hot Stuff CA glue can be used to pre-glue your project together. This will help keep all the pieces in place when you glue it to the backer board. Start with your pattern taped to a flat surface with a piece of wax paper on top. Lay your finished project pieces on the wax paper. I like to use Hot Stuff Extra Gap Filling Glue. With the pieces in place on the pattern, I'll start gluing at the tail feathers. Glue about 2 to 3 pieces at a time. Apply enough glue to fill the gaps without leaking out between the pieces. Push the pieces back in place with all the surrounding pieces in place as well. Then press together and then let go and let set up for about a minute. Glue the next set of feathers in place. Being careful to keep the glue below the line. And again, put all your pieces back in place. On the pattern. Press together in place nice and tight. And then let set again for a few minutes. You can use accelerator, but you have to be very quick. It's a good way to start is just using the CA glue without the accelerator to start with. Then let it set up. You can move down to a bigger piece. Try to put the CA glue on the lower piece. It's important to keep the surrounding pieces in place as you glue. That way your pieces won't shift. Let's set up. I'm going to glue the leg section. And the tail section. Making sure it's all flat. Let it set. I glued the leg sections together, and now I'm going to glue them to the top body. Let them stay in place. Now I glued all the head sections together, and I want to put glue along this line here so that when I push this down in place, I won't bring glue up along the gap. So I'm going to carefully put glue all along the inside. And then I'm going to press down with everything in place, fit it nice and tight, and let it set up. Now the project is ready to take off the wax paper and take over to the flat sander to sand the back. This is my sand flea flatness sander. I'm going to sand the back so that we have a nice flat surface to glue with. In order to make the base fit tightly, I took the glued chicken and set it on top of my pattern pieces and traced the feet so that I'd have a nice tight fit. After I got done sanding, I will need to glue these pieces, as we did the rest of the chicken, in place. When you glue this chicken together, you want to glue the lowest pieces with the glue first. So I would pick this up and move it back, put glue on the smaller piece in the back, making sure you don't get too much glue on, put it in place, and then set the chicken back in place from top to bottom. That way the glue won't ride up on the inside. I'm going to do the same with this piece. Put the glue on the lower piece. I'm going to pick the chicken up and put it back in place on top. Then I'm going to hold those pieces together tightly, put the rest of my pieces in place, and then let that set up. Then I move on to the next piece. I can glue this piece in place and these two pieces. Remember, you always want to put your pieces back in place. Don't glue too many pieces at once. You want to have enough time to just put everything back in place and let it set up correctly. And let that set. Then you want to flat sand the bottom and then move on to your next step of gluing to your backer board. You can use hot stuff CA glue with wood glue to attach your project to your backer board. First, place your project face down on a soft rag on top of your work table. Make sure your backer board is cut to the exact size. Spray the back of your backer board with accelerator. Place small dots of wood glue on every piece. You don't want to get too much in, it might ooze up through the cracks, but you want to get enough on that you're going to hold your project securely. Then put dots of hot stuff glue in between the wood glue. Carefully hold your backer board up above your project and then set in place, making sure that the backer board doesn't go past the edges. Press gently. Wait a few seconds for the CA glue to set, and then flip over and press firmly. This will squish any other glue around a little bit more and give you a nice fit. And just check to make sure all the corners and edges are all nice and sealed. And there you go, your project is finished. This saves a lot of time. You don't have to leave it clamped overnight. You don't have to worry about pieces shifting. And you're ready to move right on to the next step. I use hot stuff CA glue to permanently glue my inlay pieces. Here I've cut out a white spot and will fit it into my black piece of wood. I like to cut right in the line when I cut out the spot, and then I cut just outside the line on the other piece. This way the two pieces will fit together with very little gaps. I sand the edges of the white spot piece if needed to fit into the hole. When you have your pieces fitting tightly, simply put some hot stuff glue on your piece and insert in the hole. You push down with something hard and then let it set up. After the glue sets up, I'll take it over and I'll sand it on the flat sander. After you sand it, your piece will be nice and tight. If you have a gap, you can easily fix it with a bit of hot stuff, extra gap filling glue, and sawdust. I used a drum sander to gather the fine sawdust of the darker colored wood, wingay in this case. Put a few drops of the CA hot stuff glue. Mix in your sawdust. You want it sort of thick. And then fill in your crack. Try to get it nice and flat. And then let dry. You can use accelerator if you want to speed up the process. And then you'll take it over and sand it. I sanded the surface slightly, and you can see how the seam is almost invisible, the gap. Once I put a finish on this, you won't even be able to tell it's there.
Okay.
Everyone needs to go back to gallery now.
Okay. Anybody have any comments on glue, and have they used any of this?
I know I have done those steps, only not those products at different times, but to see it all working together like that was really helpful. And I think the combination of the CA glue with your regular wood glue, it'd be a lot less messy overall if I did it, I think.
Yep. You think that would speed things up?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
One thing about CA glue, it's very, very brittle. So over time, the movement of the wood will loosen those joints up. So you have to use some kind of glue other than the CA glue because it won't last.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, now people probably already know the CA glue gives you a quick, within a minute type holding power. But like Jeff says, it's not a good for long lasting, but it will hold the pieces in place to allow the wood glue to set up properly. So you can start moving from piece to piece. So in the end, the wood glue is really the glue that you're using to hold the piece together. The CA glue gets it so you can handle the pieces and move them around without them sliding while the wood glue is still drying.
There is slow set CA glue too. which
Yeah.
gives you a lot more time to, you know, to put your pieces together. Some of the quick set stuff, when I've tried to use it in the past, is it's a little too quick.
Yeah.
So
The thick glue also will give you a little bit more flexibility too. It give you a little better shear strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
My
the
cat wanted to join, Gretel. She watched the video with me. She's helping me take notes.
Yeah, I think the thick glue has a little bit of whooping time to it rather than thinner glue. I think you go thin, medium, and thick, and then you have different whooping times on those. But that accelerator, I wasn't aware of that until Steve Good started talking about it and so forth. And so I found it very helpful in certain occasions. But the only thing I want to mention, if you haven't used it before, when you go to put your pieces together, you better be spot on, because it's quick. you don't get any forgiveness to be able to push it around and slide it and so forth. It's immediate.
Reed,
Yeah.
am I right? Reed, am I right in saying that there is something right on the bottle says slow set CA glue?
Yeah, and I think that's the thick, actually, if I remember correctly. But
There's actually a slow set.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought there was a separate slow set
Yeah,
CA glue as well as,
I think you're right. Yeah.
and a fast set CA glue. So
It sort of
if you
defeats the
find it
purpose of
quick-
CA glue, though.
You might want to wear rubber gloves too.
Yes.
You don't want to stick your fingers together.
Oh.
Two comments I'd make for you guys. I would not suggest using the thin CA glue for this application.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of wood turners and that will use it for we'll use it for like filling, like if you're turning something and it starts cracking on you and you want to save your piece, you can fill a crack because it'll go down and it'll soak into the grain real quick. But that's exactly what it'll do. In this situation where you're trying to edge glue, it'll just wick throughout the side of the piece, and you'll have the thin glue all over the place. And then I would be kind of careful. The accelerant's a good idea, like Gary said. When you use the accelerant, it's what the name implies. It's now. But if you're using a light colored wood like an aspen or something that you want to stay real white, I would be careful about. I would do some test pieces because you might change the color a little bit.
Yeah.
You might want to shade areas so it doesn't spray on top or get places you don't want.
Yeah, just be careful of how you spray it. But the glue itself will change the color a little bit too. But if you don't get it up on the top surface that you're trying to show, you're fine. You just got to be careful of how you do it.
There's also debonder if you need to take something apart.
Yeah.
It's called acetone.
Acetone, yeah. Back, basically.
But there's an aerosol debonder too, isn't there, Reed?
I
thought there was, or is it liquid?
That's a good question. I think
what I have is liquid.
But there may be an aerosol.
Yeah.
Most of the ones I've seen, I think, are liquid, actually.
Has anybody used the brand that she mentions? I use Rocklers for lots of different stuff, and I've ordered some thin from I can't think of the name right now. But I had never, till I saw her video, I had never seen this that comes from Satellite City.
Yeah,
I think Woodcraft might carry it. I don't know.
Yeah.
There are a lot of different CA glues out
Mhm,
there. I know
yeah.
Rockler carries at least 3 or 4. None of their brand, actually. They're all,
Yeah.
Tight Bond makes it, a number of other manufacturers.
Yeah.
I think Gorilla makes it as well, don't they?
Yeah, they make a version of it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Menards carries that.
Can I ask a question about the CA glue? Does the acetone take it apart if you did accidentally you stick things together, you didn't want to bond.
It
Mike?
should.
That D bonder that they sell is the only thing that I've ever used to try to take that and just recutting. And saw it again.
Mike, did you
Danny,
have a
I think
comment on?
I think if you just use just nail polish remover, it'd do the same thing.
Yeah, see, that's what I was
It
thinking,
might.
to try.
Yeah.
That's what they generally say when you get newbies and young kids that start to use CA and they glue their fingers onto things. Nail polish, which is mainly acetone.
Yeah.
Yep.
When I first was learning about CA glues ages ago, I was under the impression that part of what accelerates it is moisture. But I'm assuming the accelerants.
Don't think so.
What?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I know the polyurethane glues, the moisture is moisture activated. But I don't think the CA glue is.
Okay, now polyurethane glue, what would that be like the Gorilla
Well, Gorilla Glue, the clear kind of copper that kind of foams up. You can kind of wet the wood and put the glue on, and it'll actually activate quicker.
Yeah, that I've done and used, but the accelerant that's in the spray cans, it's not just water. Question
No.
mark? Okay. One other thing I've run into, when I was at work and at IBM, some people are allergic to the vapors that come off of CA glues. And there was one person in the lab that would go through the roof because management did not prevent people from using CA glues, and it would affect them for days. So just be aware. I think it's rather rare, but some people are sensitive to the vapors from that.
If you're using more than just a couple of drops, there definitely is a odor to it.
Yeah.
You want to be in a
The
ventilated area.
accelerant has quite an odor to it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does people that because I don't use the CA glue, I haven't gotten into the Intarsia yet, but do you have problems with the glue hardening? You know, when you get them in the small little bottles, you go and you use it, and then you come back about a month later, and it's dried up, and you can't use it. These larger bottles, I don't know how big they are, a couple ounces, I would assume. Do they harden up? Is there a technique to keep it so it doesn't clog up?
The plastic on mine anyway, the plastic cap, you put the plastic cap back on, it holds it. It's pretty good.
Okay.
You might get some crust around the pointed part of it, and you can take a pliers or something just to break it a little bit. Like we'd said earlier, it gets brittle over time, so it breaks off pretty easily.
Just make sure you clean the threads off so you're not gluing the cap.
Yeah. And it doesn't glue real well plastic to plastic for some reason. The cap doesn't ever stick to the top very well, or else it's thin enough that when you twist it off, it breaks the seal. I don't know, but I've never had a cap stick to it.
All right.
But I agree with what he was saying. Those little tubes you can buy and stuff.
Yeah.
Those are like a one use thing.
Yeah.
I've never had that problem with bottles.
Okay.
Some of the bottles that I've used in the past, if they need an activator for them to harden, those don't harden up nearly as quick as the ones where you don't.
Yeah.
And so you have to kind of watch which bottle you get. So you're almost better buying the bottles that you need the activator for them to harden. They'll harden up on you a lot slower than the other ones will.
I think where you got to be really careful about the hardening of the cap is when you're working with polyurethane. You want to make sure you don't get any moisture up on the top of your cap, because that'll activate it, and because you're using moisture to put on your piece that you're going to be putting the polyurethane on. So you got to be careful that you don't get any moisture up in the cap, because that'll plug it right up. The other thing I noticed was that the trick that she used, Kathy did, on filling up a crack using some CA with the sawdust and then putting it in there. And then she said it wasn't noticeable. And then especially when you put on a finish, you won't notice it all. But, you know, I've used that trick with on different, you know, not even the mail, that might be Tite Bond and different things. But even with that glue, I found that when you do put a finish on it, it's just the reverse, that the glue doesn't take the finish and it becomes more noticeable.
I think that depends on how much glue you put with the sawdust. The more glue you put with the sawdust, the more you're going to have that problem. The
Yeah.
less glue you use.
And the
less-
type of glue makes a difference.
Yes.
I
And
have
you gotta
better
make
luck. I have better luck with just like Aleene's glue or something with dries clear with sawdust rather than the CA glue.
What kind of glue, John?
Just, well, any kind of dries clear wood glue,
Just
but the Aleene seems to work pretty good. Duo always, but you can't get that Duo anymore.
We used to, in cabinet shop, we just used to use just regular Elmer's glue.
Yeah,
And
that should
just
work.
mix sawdust with it, and you don't get that. It'll absorb the finish better than it will if you use, like, say, Tite Bond or some of the others, because you're not really worried about that. You're worried about it getting into the crack, flex with the crack, and not, you know, and be able to accept the finish.
You got to make sure that you get it off the rest of the surface, beside, you know, sand off
Yes,
the rest of the
absolutely.
surface.
You'll need to thoroughly sand that surface to make sure you get all that excess off.
Those new to Intarsia, though, this is just another technique. I know most of us don't use the CA glue to put it together. At least I never have. Anybody I ever worked with never did. So I'm sure it'll come in handy, and it's a nice technique. But it's just another. I just use the plain wood glue, and I do edge glue before I put it to the backer board. Some people don't do that, but so just put it on the files is another way to do it. But I wouldn't do it. I don't like using the CA glue and the whole things together.
John, doesn't using regular glue just give you a little more time to line things up better?
Oh, gives you a lot of time. Yeah, if you're doing a big project, you need some time to get it all together. So
yep,
that's what I was thinking about as was watching this, because I edge glue as well, but I've never done CA glue. But you kind of do chunks at a time, is what I do anyway, or put, you know, pieces together, and then you got to wait overnight and stuff. And I've kind of in the back of my head, I'm thinking, well, there's times when it would have been nice to be able to kind of move on to the next little section or what next group. So I don't know. Like John said, I'm gonna just kind of keep in the back of my head as a tool or another option. I like the part though. I don't know why I didn't think of that before, of putting, like when she glued the backer board to it, put some, you know, some CA glue there with Tite Bond, just to kind of keep things together, you know, or different
until
places.
the glue dries.
Yeah,
I
I thought
did
that was a cool idea. I thought.
I did like that too, because sometimes you clamp with and it slides on you, and you don't
exactly.
know
Yeah, yeah.
So that would be a nice. I'm going to use that part too.
I can think of a lot of times where I'd like to glue, you know, use the Tite Bond as the permanent one, but it'd be nice to have something to stick it in place while it's drying. Besides,
Katie, I'd be interested to know, do you use CA glue with your Intarsia projects?
No, I have not ever done that. No.
Yeah.
And you don't edge glue either, do you, Katie?
Only when they're really small pieces, but I do a little bit, but not a lot. I'm willing to try.
What type of glue do you use then, Katie?
Either what's it called? The tacky glue sometimes.
Tacky, Adeline.
Yeah.
Aleene, yeah.
Aleene's.
She made. Yeah, there's quite a few different kinds of that, but that's the one. That's what they use down at the Roberts studio too, by the way. You know, and that's it's a good glue.
Yeah.
Where is that available?
Michael's and Joanne's, those places out there.
Hobby Lobby.
Amazon.
Amazon.
crap.
The
It's
nice thing about Michael's and those, you get these 50% coupons sometimes.
Yep.
When you go buy some glue.
Yep.
Okay, any other questions?
Just a little fun fact, CA glue is used in surgical suites to heal wounds.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I've had cuts
That's where it
put
was
together
developed.
that
Was
way.
Yeah.
it was developed for battlefield use,
Yeah.
wow.
basically to close wounds. Yeah, that's what it was developed for.
Huh.
If any of you have used new skin, and it comes in a little bottle, that's the same thing. That's all that is
Yeah.
CA glue.
Yep.
John Bukloyak, have you used CA glue?
No,
Mm.
I haven't.
And what do you use?
I use Gorilla, the clear stuff, the white bottle stuff. That's what I use. It
Yeah.
works good for me. That's that I'm so used to it, and as much as I do it, it works real well for me. So
Yep.
There's more than one way to skin an Intarsia project.
yeah.
That's what I'm finding out. I'm finding that out too.
With CA glue, you better be careful or you'll be skinning yourself.
Touche. Okay, with that one, I think we've had enough on this topic. I see Katie put out the link to it. You can look at it later, but it'll be in the newsletter, and also I'll be putting it on the webpage. But yeah, you can go back and take a look at it and hear it again. But Mike, nice topic. Thanks for picking that one. That's
One
good.
more thing. This week on Judy Gail Roberts' half price sale on her patterns, she also put in some notes on all the things some of the things that she does on every project. And I can't remember. She did talk a little bit about why she does not edge glue, but I'll put some of that in the newsletter too.
Great.
All right.
Okay, with that, let's go to show and tell.
Anybody who has a product to show, go to that place where you can raise your hand, and then I'll call on whoever I see with the raised hand.
So you go to participants and you get the list of participants, and then one of the things on the bottom of the list is raise hand.
Okay, so first we have Danny Judd.
Okay. Well, mine's actually kind of a combination of a lot of shop stuff. There is some scrolling involved. There's some wood turning and some other stuff. My wife's got has a lot of different spices in the kitchen. So for Christmas, and we've had them scattered all over in a couple of different spice racks and a couple of different cupboards and all of that. So for Christmas, I made her that. All of the racks and bottles and all of that stuff. The bottles obviously I didn't make, but the caps I did, and the caps for all the bottles, and then the spice racks and that. So they're all together. There's some scrolling involved in the frame of this and that kind of stuff too. So that's my show.
Okay.
So you made wooden caps?
Yeah, they're like. Let's see if I can hold this up somewhere. Wait a minute. I didn't have any picture of the individual. Let's see.
If you put it in front of your face, you'll probably be able to show it.
How's that? Close? I can't see on mine screen. All I can see is Mike's face.
No, we can't see it.
Okay, hold on. Let me see.
So for the threads on the cap, you just turn that, or?
Well, wait a minute. There we go. There we go. There we go. And the caps are, there.
How about unscrewing the cap and let's take a look at the threads. And what kind of wood did you use?
The Brazilian cherry. It's actually a flooring material.
I see what you did. You
I see. Okay.
Yeah, you turn the caps and you glue them onto the covers.
Okay.
So it's a cover over the top of the caps.
How you got the threads there?
No, I've done some threading in wood, and I'm not going to do 40 some of them that way. That'd be, that'll take forever. But
That's neat.
no, it's a cover that sits over the cover.
Very
and
good.
glues
That's
on.
nice.
That way you use the other one to seal all the spices.
Next
What's
we
that?
have,
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
we have John Engler on next, and Warren, you'll be on deck.
Okay. All right.
John.
All I can see is, there we go. Oh, now I got Warren, but can you see this here? This is.
I can see Warren.
Oh, wait a
You
second
got-
here. Now we got you. Oh,
We do?
cute. That, yeah.
I can't see it very well because all I can see is Warren, and I'm down in the corner here. But or maybe I hit plus.
We can see you and we can
Oh,
see
it doesn't
her,
matter.
but if you back it
I
way,
can't.
if you back way up, we'll be able to see all of you. Keep going back. Keep going back and then hold it up high.
All right. I'll do it
Higher.
in pieces.
A little higher. Oh, that's nice. Now a
All
little
right.
lower.
I wish I could see it here.
That's-
But anyway, this is Judy Gale Roberts' pattern. This is the one I did actually down in the class.
Oh, cool.
Can you, the wood is mahogany, the red is mahogany, and I use some maple for the face and aspen for the skirt and stuff, but you can see the layers and so forth, but the face came out kind of nice on this
Yeah.
one.
Very
So then-
terrific. What's the name of the pattern?
Mrs. Claus, I think.
Did you use a Wonder Wheel?
Yeah, it's definitely the Wonder Wheel for the skirt to get the, or the apron, I guess, to get that, if you can see the level, and then also on the hair.
Yeah. Good job.
Very nice.
Looks
And then,
real nice, John.
Of course, when I got back, then I had to do the Mister. And I got kind of big for the screen here, but I had some more of that wood, so I used the same mahogany and the same with the Wonder Wheel and so forth. I don't know what your wheel is. Get some walnut in there also.
Wheel on.
The gloves look like walnut, yeah.
And then, I hadn't done any Intarsia for 4 or 5 years, and I switched over to all fretwork. But now I've had the bug, so then I did her latest pattern, the pumpkin with the.
Hold it up a little higher. Yeah, good.
That's I never used Spanish cedar before, and that's what that is, a Spanish cedar.
Wow.
And I used
Yeah, she uses a lot of that.
but I use the
excellent.
the crow. The crow is actually walnut, and I blackened it with you know, the vinegar and steel wool.
Steel wool.
Concoction. But anyway,
Are the pieces on the wall behind you, are those yours also?
yeah, oh yeah.
Excellent.
I don't know if you could see them or not, but yeah, I did that. You know, hidden forest, and then there's some other things hanging up there. But so that's it.
Thank you.
Where did you get the Spanish cedar, John?
I got that. Well, I think Rockler carries it, but I think I got that one at Discount Lumber.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think is where I bought it.
And
There's also another cedar, but it doesn't quite have the grain. It's not Spanish. I can't think of the name of it right now. Colonial cedar. I don't know, something like that. But
Yeah.
the Spanish cedar, that's what she had used down there, and it's pretty readily available down there in Tennessee, but it's harder to find up here.
Called Western Red Cedar.
No, it's different. It's definitely
No, it's
different.
not. Same thing.
Well,
Done? Okay, Warren, you're on deck. You're next, and Mike Zink, you're going to be on deck.
Okay.
Well, we
That's the wrong thing.
Oops, that must be Mike Zink's stuff.
No,
No.
No, that's John.
can you see me? Can you see?
nope, we're seeing a
No.
tripod.
That's what I'm showing.
Okay.
oh,
So this is a little project I came up just for New Year's Eve. We were doing a FaceTime with another couple, Pete Rose and his wife, you know, maybe.
Yeah.
So I made a little fixture for my tripod to hold the iPad in. So we didn't have to, we were playing we played Yahtzee on Christmas, New Year's Eve, and we had to have some place to hold the iPad. So I used this adapter to my tripod.
Wow.
And, so
That'd
Gary,
be, I talked with Mike Zink yesterday. That looks like a good way to use your iPad to video your shop.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you can do a tour of the shop that way.
Well, you
Yeah.
could just hold your iPad, I suppose, but kind of hard to walk around.
It is hard to walk around.
But
Warren, how is it attached to the tripod?
so these two screws go through the same slot that you would normally have your camera piece that screws into the bottom of your camera.
Yeah.
I took that nut and screw off of there, and I put these two screws through that whole same holder, and just tighten them up in the back. That's all it took. This is some of the Baltic birch plywood that I got from Gary, of course. And
Nice.
made a little slot for it. Just drops in here and you can pull this right out of here real easy. And then the other thing I did was my son wanted to make up a monkey bars kind of thing for his kids to use in the house. So he and I put this together. It was the tricky part was getting all these dowels in here and all lined up. So we drilled all these out on my my drill press and got them all spaced out, and it's adjustable here, so you can raise the monkey bars up all the way up to about 7 feet off the floor up here, and so we delivered that to them at Christmas time.
Can that hold a man's weight?
I can hang on it, yeah.
Cool.
So I'm about 200 pounds. So for the kids, it's no problem. Anyway, these are just braces here. This is in the construction period, so I just getting these braces ready. This is a plan we found online, and this was not too hard. It was a little tricky, like I said, getting these dowels all lined up and glue those all in there.
What's that little toilet on the bench top?
The toilet over here?
Like a little toilet. No, right over on the left side.
That's a magnifying glass.
Oh, it looks like a toilet.
The porta potty.
Yeah,
The porta potty.
That's my magnifier
Like a little toilet.
There's my saw right there.
All right, my mistake.
I do have a toilet box over here I'm using.
All right, well,
Box all down.
all right, just wondering.
Okay, so that was Warren. Mike Zink, you're up next.
All right,
I'll
try to share screen.
Where'd you go? There you go.
Can you see that?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I was gluing up those cutting boards, and I've been using just plain old wax paper, down on my bench, and I'm going, "Gee, it moves all over, what a pain." And so I went over to Michael's, and they had these little glue pads. They're actually for hot glue. You'd put your gun on there, and if any glue drips out, it would land on this, and then it wouldn't stick. Well, these are about 8 inches square, and they're maybe 100 thousandths thick, so they're nice and thick. And I can lay those projects on there and glue on here, and it won't stick. You just take it in the shop sink down here and clean them off with some water, and work great. So I bought 3 or 4 of them, and they're really handy.
Is that silicone?
Yeah, it's a silicone.
Okay.
Yep. I have a big mat from Rockler, but then I find that that's ribbed and the glue gets down in there. It's kind of a pain to clean, but these are nice and flat, so it works good for that. Now let's see, I got another thing.
If you turn the rocker one upside down and it's smooth.
Yep.
How much was the price of that, Mike?
Oh, it's about $5.99, and with 20% off, it's about $5. So really pretty cheap. Yeah, it's a good deal. What's that?
For one sheet?
Yeah, for one sheet.
Okay.
Yep, works real nice.
Would you
Now
say
let's see.
replay?
I'd like to see if I can make another one work.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Now, how do I go back?
I still haven't figured out how to switch apps when you're doing a share screen. There should be a way to do that, but generally I found I quit the shared screen and started again.
You can do new share.
New share? Where is that?
It's up by the stop screen, or it's up by the stop share, usually next to it.
Well, I got a little car here. I don't know if you can see that.
No, we're still looking at your
Still
map.
looking at that other thing.
I'm not looking at anything.
I don't know.
I'm not seeing anything
There,
at all.
now I see it.
Now do you see a car?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, there's a little kid across the street. He's about 2 years old and nice little kid. And so I thought, gee, I'd make him a little car for Christmas. So I had some of Ray's beach, and so I made this out of beach. This thing ought to be indestructible. He is not going to break that. Now let's see. I've got another little.
There we go.
See if I can get another one. Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
Made a little pickup truck. Can you see that?
It's coming. It's taking a little minute.
All right. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a little
Only in
pickup.
thumbnail.
What?
I only see just a thumbnail with a bunch of other photos on the background too.
All right. Let's try this.
Let's not take.
There you go.
There?
Yep, there it is.
Okay, so I had some more beach. I thought I'll make him a little pickup too, and then I routed out this little box in the back out of a piece of wood so he could put, you know, quarters or whatever he had to put in there. So that's what I've been diddling with here.
Right.
All right.
Next, are you done?
Yep, that's it for me.
Next up is Bill Sauer.
Okay, I got nothing.
Can we get,
No, Bill Sauer.
But cute.
can we go to Bill Sauer and not see Mike Zink?
I'm showing Bill.
Oh, I was seeing.
There we go.
So that's
Okay.
Fred's the reindeer that didn't make it.
That's really cute. That's really cute.
Steve Good pattern, and his was a plywood. So I thought I'd use some contrasting woods and use Paduke for the dark and then oak for the light. And he's nothing fancy, but he sure is cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
He's very cute.
That's all I got today.
Okay. Gary, you're going to be next.
Okay.
How do you?
I don't know.
You have to ask her, I suppose.
Yeah.
Just a minute. I don't, wait a minute, just a second here.
Katie, John's got something too, but he doesn't know how to get on there.
Just a minute.
Sure.
Bill Sauer, you have to stop sharing your screen.
I got to figure out how to do that.
Go to the top. If you move your cursor to the top of the screen, you should see stop sharing. Okay.
Thank you.
There we go.
And here comes Gary. And somebody was asking, somebody doesn't know how to raise their hand, I think.
Yeah, John Blakoviak.
Okay, John, if you go to participants, can you get the participants list up?
Yep.
At the bottom of that, you might have to click on more, but there should be a place where it says raise your hand.
I can't see that, John.
And we can do it later. You'll be next up. I'll tell you when it's your turn and then I'll tell you how to do it, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, I got.
Let's see Gary's stuff.
I had it brought up, but it's not. I'm getting all this other stuff here now.
Looks like you might not have shared screen yet.
Yeah, I did. I said share screen.
I can see you, Gary.
Oh, here we go.
I can't see you.
Yeah, you're coming now.
It was further down. It was down below. this is a pattern that just came out from Sue May, Scroll Saw Artist, that was came out with emails, and Steve Good mentioned it as well. And it's a large nativity tree, but the large nativity tree runs 18 inches by 11 inches. And I didn't want to try to do that on the scroll saw, so I reduced it down to 12 inches. And I used the Baltic birch plywood, and I stacked it and made 3 at the same time. And then I just put red backing on 2 of them and green on the one. And so it was
around for years.
It was quite nice. And my wife has already picked and said she wants the green one. So, and my daughter said she wants the red one. So, yeah, that was just something to use with the Baltic birch plywood, but you have to buy the pattern. Okay, that's
Gary,
all.
what size of blade do you use on that?
Well, I use the Pegasus MGT. I used a 5 and a 3, and then down in the star, I would use a 1. But you got to remember now, it's stacked 3 high, so that's 3/4 inch.
Okay.
What do you use for backing, Gary?
That's just a board that I buy from Walmart, just a backer board.
And you painted it?
No, you buy it in colors.
Foam board.
Yeah.
Just border or backing border, and you can get
foam board.
Pardon?
Foam board.
Full board.
Yeah.
Spell it FOAM.
Yeah.
Well, this
different colors. You can buy in different colors and different thicknesses.
Yeah, but this is not foam board. There's no foam on this at all. This is just they just in sheets. It's just paper. You know, it's like paper thick, maybe 3-4 inches of paper thick, and Walmart has them, and they got them in. I use a lot of black. That's what I use for almost all my black things.
Is it like poster board?
They're poster board, yeah. Poster board, that's it. And yeah, they got probably about 10 different colors, and I use it for a lot of them. Then I just, before I cut out the outside, I put the paper behind it and double stick with double back tape, and then cut it out. And then for the base, she didn't have a base like that, but I made a base, and that's a little walnut base that I made there, and added the extension down, put that in there. So I modified it just a hint.
Yeah.
But it came out nice.
Yep, very nice.
Okay.
John Blakoyak, do you have a picture, or do you want to show it by wait a minute, no. I can't find you here.
I'll hold it up.
Say again?
I'll hold it up so you get the picture.
All right, I'm going to try to highlight you then.
There you are.
I can't find you.
His video just looks black.
Oh. About that.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Oh.
We still have the 3 Christmas trees.
You shouldn't.
I have Bill Sauer personally.
I'm a winner. I got
see Katie.
I see Bill Sauer.
No.
John Blakoyak seems to be muted and
dark.
And dark.
Well, I don't know what to do about
if you go up to the top, you might see some, on the top right, you might see something like speaker view or gallery or different views that you can choose.
It's spinning.
It looks like John is trying to speak. Because
Yeah.
Microphone.
Yeah, I can
Level on the
hear.
microphone
We can
is,
hear John and Twyla.
Okay, I haven't been hearing it.
If you go down to the lower left and try it, is there a slash through your video?
Oh, let's see.
Click on the video, maybe.
Do you know? Get out of there. In process. Oh, well, we had it all before, but it's.
Yeah, we saw you before.
I can get out.
Lower left, where
Lower
there's
left.
a
I
video
don't have-
camera. When you
Yeah,
move,
there's nothing down there. All we have is the Christmas trees.
wow. Becky, you got to look for the gallery view. Does anyone know how to tell her to get the gallery view?
Well, that just controls what she sees.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's up the top right corner, isn't it?
Yeah.
I see a view up there, but that blue thing is just spinning.
Click on the view thing.
Yeah, it's not clicking.
Oh, because it whatever's
Can we maybe try spotlighting somebody else and come back and
Yeah, do that.
what they see?
Do that.
There you are, Mike.
Well, I don't have any show and tell for today, so.
Okay. So I canceled you, but you didn't go away.
You want me to go away?
Yes.
For me, you go away when I do choose a gallery view. And is it, let's see.
I don't see anybody else who's already been.
Oh, something's happening. Okay, there's John.
There we go.
Hey!
Hey.
I see. Yep. Nope.
Hold it up again. Hold it up again. Just a minute, I'm gonna try and spotlight you.
Yeah, Katie, spotlight him now.
Oh, there, that's nice.
Nice.
Go like this because the light's hitting it.
Oh, yeah. She's got, oh, that's nice, right there.
Yeah, that is neat.
Now
So
you
you-
got a freeze frame.
Tell us about it, John. He's frozen on my screen.
No, he's gone.
I have a feeling they've got a bandwidth problem with the internet.
That could be. Can you hear us, John and Twyla? Now he's on mute again.
No, he's not on mute.
Nope, he's, well, when I put my cursor over his black window, I see mute.
Oh.
Well, if you get back, John, then you can tell us about it, but we like the butterfly.
Yeah.
All right, I've got some 3 hands still up. John, Gary, and Warren. Do you have more that, or is?
I can show you one more thing after I saw Bill Sauer's Rudolph or whatever.
All right, let me get you spotlighted here.
I can share.
Oh, hi, John.
Hi.
I was trying to, I did the wrong one. Warren.
There we go.
There he is. That's
Oh,
Warren's
yeah.
screen.
I made the whole family here. It's just this. Yeah, this is of course Rudolph that Bill Sauer did. I extended my painting expertise. I had a practice here, but it was fun putting those together.
That's cool. So, John, do you have something more?
No.
Okay, we'll lower your hand then.
But Reed.
Who else? Oh, Reed. Reed, have you got something going?
Yeah, I got, I don't know if you can see this. See, I'll raise it up. This isn't
wow.
a small soft project, but it's an inlay.
And inlays. Wow, very
About
nice.
2 feet by 2 feet. I'll back up.
Yeah, we can see the whole thing now. Wow, that's really cool.
Is that veneers or is that solid woods?
It's a 1/4-inch plywood with well, or 1/2-inch plywood with quarter, 1/8-inch inlays.
Very nice. How long did you work on that one?
Well, I took it in very small steps, so it's kind of hard to estimate. But it was I had to develop the pattern for it and a bunch of other stuff. So
very nice. Did you?
So it was fun.
How did you learn how to do it?
Well, actually, it was a tutorial I found online, and then for building the pattern, and then I cut it out with a hand-guided CNC machine, but
Ah,
You used
Cool.
your router.
yeah, well, it's a computerized router,
Yeah.
and so
How do you get the tips of the points to be so?
well, they're actually the tips have the same radius as the points. The bits. So in some cases you can get very small bits and get very sharp points. In this case, it was an eighth inch tip,
Wow.
or eighth inch radius, I should say.
I think at a later date, Reed's going to give us, he's going to give us a background or a presentation on this router and so forth, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Fun little device.
Oh yeah.
Is anybody else, Katie?
I don't see anyone else. And anybody else that I'm missing? No.
All right.
All right. Well, we got down to 9 minutes to go here. Any other announcements anybody wants to make?
Mike Zink, tell them what you've been working on with your video.
Oh, I'm found a tripod and I'm going to try to film in my garage what my garage is and some of the stuff I do out there. So if I can get that going, hopefully maybe next month that'll be it. If not, we'll have to search for something, but I should know within a week or so if I can make it work. The biggest trouble is the sound, but I think my actual phone would work better than my camera.
I still say if you get the video with the sound, you send it to me and we can augment it.
Okay. Work on that.
Just out of curiosity, if Warren could take some pictures of the front and the back of his iPod cradle, I'd love to see those.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not very detailed, not very difficult there. It's like I said, it was just a matter of taking off the connector that you normally screw into your camera. I had to peel back the on the mount. There was a little soft cushion where the camera sits. Peel that back, and then you can see how you get that thing out of there. There's a little plug and a slot that slides over, and you can drop that right out of there. And then I just put 2 screws to that same mounting thing. But yeah, I could do that for you, Reed.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Or just send it to Katie and she can send it out to everybody.
Carl Pose has something going on here. We're going to see what he's trying to do. Oh, it looks like he's got a tripod ready.
This I use for music. I bought it at Growth Music, and you basically it can rotate and you can put it on a camera stand, or you can buy a microphone.
Wow.
And so I use this for my Surface Pro 4, and my wife uses it for her dancing when she's on her iPad. So this extends to whichever size you want. And so I mean,
that's
there's
neat.
another option for people looking for it. I use this for when I'm playing music. When I go out and play music, I just put my pad in here and it has all my song charts and all that stuff.
Wow. What instrument do you play?
I play multiple instruments. My main instrument is bass, but I play guitar, piano, percussion instruments.
Wow.
Yeah, synthesizers.
Do you get paid?
Oh,
yeah. Look at that. Wow.
Bass amps, guitar amps. There's a bass amp there. There's speakers over there. Drums.
Are you a part of a group or are you a solo guy?
Drums. It's just a hobby right now. I do performing with my wife's dance troupe, Middle Eastern Turkish dance troupe. So I do Middle Eastern percussion. I do Middle Eastern percussion.
Wow.
What's this have to do with scroll sawing?
Fun things we can learn about our members. It's always nice to know there's more than one hobby.
Anyways, it was more about this.
I know.
Thank you.
Roughly, what sort of price range is the stand like that?
Oh, I I don't remember. I could look it and post it into the chat.
Just curious. That's,
Yeah. No,
That was at Gross Music in Bloomington?
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Okay. Any other announcements?
John
Okay.
Bakowiak is back on if you want to look at one more
I'd
thing.
tell us about your butterfly.
Well, I made it, it's in the woodworking magazine, and I made it out of walnut, and buckthorn is the orange, and the white dots. I mean, I cut it out of aspens, are really small.
Wow.
But I did get it cut out, so.
Wow.
Excellent. Beautiful.
And then I
Very
got,
nice.
then I made a raccoon that was.
Oh, isn't that cute? That's a Judy Gill Roberts
Yep.
discount pattern this month,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Huh.
Cool.
But I had some of my brother-in-law had given me a piece of wood like cut off the tree, and it had a hole in it. I figured this would make a good one for.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Very
Excellent.
nice.
Yeah. So that's all I have right now. I do have others, but I don't have it with me up here.
Well, you can.
I did cut out in that woodworking magazine. They had a raccoon that front work, and then they had the sparrow one, and I cut that one out too, which turned out really nice. So,
Well,
but
John, you can save some of them for next month.
yeah.
Presentation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Okay. Well, we got 2 minutes to go here, and our next official meeting is going to be Saturday, February 6th, from 9:30 to 11:30. And Carol, we're going to look forward to getting those minutes out. And again, thank you for volunteering to do that. And
I'm not going to be in Arizona this year.
Oh, very good. That's good.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be looking forward to hearing from people that want to volunteer for the president and also for the secretary. I'm just can't wait to when I get off of here to see all the emails that's going to come in here. But, basically, I think we, well, I do know we had a very productive meeting here today, and thanks for everybody for participating. And with that, do we have a motion to close the meeting, adjourn?
You know what? There's one more person here with the phone number 715-829-2765. Is that you, Bill? Is that Bill
Bill
from?
Freeman?
Is that you, Bill? Well, he
Bill
doesn't
D.
have. No, he doesn't have audio or video, I don't think. But anyway, if it's Bill Freeman, hello.
Whoever it is, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Do we have a
I
meeting?
heard him. I heard him. He said hello.
Okay, good.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So
I
moved.
move.
Second,
All right.
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
All right.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank
I'll
you.
leave the video running for people who want to chat with each other.